May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio podcast. I'm DC Booba of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, preserving the legacy of Shunryu Suzuki and those whose paths crossed his, and anything else that comes to mind. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable and free of any economic distress and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So today's guest will be Mel Weitsman, who's been our guest a couple of other times. It's not real long. I basically just called him up just to see how he was doing, say hello. But I also wanted to ask him about Shunryu Suzuki wearing a radiation belt. Oh, I would like to mention that Loring Palmer, an early Shunryu Suzuki student who started in 1964 and 76, went to follow Trungpa Rinpoche and studied with Andrew Koan and Candace and recently with some Hindu teachers. And he was living in Boston? Maybe in Boston. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, I did a long podcast with him recently, just, I don't know, like a month ago or something. And in it, he talked about how he was preparing to die and how, he'd taken a turn for the worse, though he sounded fine. Anyway, so since then, Loring entered hospice, and on November 11th in the morning, he passed on to the next Bardo. And maybe I'll do another podcast about Loring. I mean, that was quite a bit we did then, or maybe just a shout out again. We'll see. There's a tremendous number of people writing on an email list about him and on Facebook, and we're going to have a little Zoom ceremony for him, and I've been asked to conduct it, and I don't do that sort of thing. But Loring, he's my first Zen mentor, so we'll, a few of us, it's the family thing, and a few close friends, we'll come up with something appropriate and zoom it out. Okay. Gyate, Loring Palmer. A gentle soul, great guy. So we'll get to Mel just as soon as we've had our pause to meditate. So when you hear the bell, if you feel like it, hit pause. And you can meditate for as long as you wish. And when you're through, hit unpause. And then we'll hit the bell to end meditation. And we'll all be here together to hear what Mel Weitsman has to say. And me too, because we're chatting. I think here, let's, before we talk with Mel, I'm going to read you a Caring Bridge, what do you call it? I'm going to read you the latest from his Caring Bridge page. This is from his wife, Liz. She writes on November 13th, "Good news! At the end of October, Mel started a different chemo, and it seems to be helping. His appetite has improved, he is taking fewer pain meds, and surprise, so far he has not experienced the dreaded side effects, mostly just fatigue. Last year, Mel's oncologist advised against this particular chemo drug because it's considered too toxic for a 90-year-old. So Mel tried 3 alternative drugs, none of which seemed to work. His doctor said now that he has known Mel for a year and has seen what a strong constitution he has, he tolerated the previous chemo trials without problems, and all his pistons and cylinders are working well." That's a quote. He thinks of Mel more like 70 than 91 and suggested trying this one after all. And so far it's successful. The cancer is only treatable, not curable, so it's not out of the woods, but we are very grateful for this improvement. Mel continues to go to his office 3 afternoons a week to work on editing a book of his lectures and a memoir with the help of Kika and Ron. They are making good progress. Take care, Liz. So that's from his Caring Bridge page. So, all right, let's talk to Mel now. So I called, and it went ring, ring, and then Liz answered, and we talked for a little bit, and she handed me over to Mel.
Hey, Davey, what's up?
Hey, Mel, good to hear your voice. Yeah. What's up? Oh, more of the same here, you know.
Oh, you're in Bali.
Yeah.
Bali High.
Yeah.
Rita Hayworth.
Hey, what do you mean by that?
Oh, that's where she spent a bit of her life.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm going to Google that.
Rita Hayworth and Bob Hope and Bing Crosby.
All right. Bali, Rita, I don't even know how to Hayworth.
Maybe that was, yeah. After Rio, they went to Bali. Bali High. They went to Bali High and Rio Junior High.
All right, I just picked up on what Mel is saying. Hey, that last thing, he said they went to Bali High. He's thinking of South Pacific, that song, Bali High. All right, he said they went to Bali High and Rio Junior High. And all right, here's what he's talking about. Bob Hope and Bing Crosby and Dorothy Lamour, not Rita Hayworth, did some road movies, and one of them was called Road to Bali, and it followed Road to Rio, probably shot in Southern California or Hawaii or something, or maybe just with backdrops. Who knows? But actually, in the movie, I looked it up, Road to Bali. They never get to Bali. They start off. Bing Crosby and Bob Hope are two like vaudeville musicians who start off in Australia and then want to go to Bali, but they like shipwreck or something on this island, and then they meet Dorothy L'Amour, and anyway, it keeps going. I think they never get to Bali, but that's what he's talking about because I kept Googling, even after I did this, right? I kept Googling Rita Hayworth, Bali. Was he Rita Hayworth ever? Nothing. There was something with Bali in the name associated with her, but it wasn't Bali. And but anyway, I finally got with Bob Hope, got Road to Bali. Yes, yeah, the roads to here are all through the water. Okay, Mel, you got me.
That's really
It must be great. It must be great where you are. Really
well.
wonderful.
Well, it's okay.
You know, it's got its hidden secrets. Yes.
Yeah, it's got its good points. It's got its bad points.
Balance of things is different.
Yeah, but definitely things get out of balance here in other ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, I'm
Okay.
It's great to hear you're doing well. And congratulations on stepping down and on Alan stepping up. How long was your run there at Abbott? 76 or something?
Well, let's see. 67 is when we opened the Zendo.
Right.
But I wasn't avid until 1984.
Oh, you weren't Abbott till 84?
Yeah, because I had Dharma transmission in 84.
Oh, okay.
And I came back, and had the mountain seat.
Well, I counted from 67. It was
something like that, anyway.
Yeah, I say, and so are you? You know, there's the kuromako in Japan, the black curtain, where somebody pulls the strings from behind. Are you the kuromako there now?
Yeah, indeed. You don't have to tell me about that one. Yeah. Somebody's always pulling the strings, and nobody knows who it is, or very few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are people coming to the Zendo, or is it all remote?
It's all remote.
Yeah.
We do some things there, but it's not, like the stepping down ceremony, stuff like that. Yeah, there are only a few people in the Zendo.
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
for Yvonne's funeral, they had, maybe 10 people there at the crematorium. Well, it was a memorial service. And
who's this?
Yvonne Rand.
Oh, Yvonne, yeah. Nobody invited me.
Well, you mean you weren't on a mailing list or anything?
I wasn't. No, it's just all word of mouth.
Yeah. Well,
something.
It was done by the family.
Yeah, I know.
And it just sort of spread out over Facebook and stuff. And it was just a Zoom ceremony.
Yeah.
And with just like 10 people, and Wendy did it. Anyway. Yeah. Well, I miss a lot of things. I remember somebody died, and Clay said, darn, he said, my son Clay, he said, I really wanted to see them because I always took Clay to see people, and I really wanted to see them, but I didn't get there, and I feel bad about it. I said, Well, that's going to happen to you many times in your life. Just do the best
Well,
you
that's,
can.
especially now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I remember when everybody, all the priests went to everybody's Shuso ceremony in Tassajara.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah, and then gradually, little by little, it all kind of dwindled off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do everything, you know.
No. I stopped attending them in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I made a decision. You know, I told Norman, he was abbot, I said, Norman, I don't want to be recognized as a priest in the Shuso ceremonies because I come and I'm not wearing robes and I'm sitting like in one of the first seats there. And I'd rather just sit back and like that. And he said, oh, I think it's good for you. So I thought, okay, I won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Loring just passed away.
Who did what?
Loring Palmer.
Oh, Loring. My goodness.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He passed away
Oh, he did.
peacefully with a smile on his face.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So anyway, pardon me for all this morbidity.
It's okay. You know, whatever comes, we'll eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. I see us as playing a game of musical chairs, and then at some point my chair won't be there.
Yeah. or your that's right.
So, what's your schedule like now, Mel?
My schedule is every other week I have a chemo infusion.
Oh, still doing it. Wow.
Still doing it? Oh, yeah, I'm just starting.
Really? Oh, my God. But you've done it before, haven't you?
Well, this is my third what do I call it? My third
Series?
And so each series, you know, gets better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect to come out of this alive, you know. It's like it's it's all making me feel better.
Oh, really?
The improvements are to make me feel better. You know, like to improvement. It's not like you know, when you're born, you don't keep going in order to find improvements. You just want to stay alive.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. And well, my daytime thing is like to do exercises to get stronger.
Yeah.
Because I got pretty weak. And I wasn't eating anything, and now I want to. Now I'm eating. And I'm writing my book.
Good.
Which has already been written. I'm just putting it together.
Good.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No. I mean, I'm very faint.
Uh-oh. Well, it doesn't matter. You keep talking.
Say that again.
Yeah. So tell me about your
Did you
book.
lose something? So I work on a book 3 days a week with my editors, and having a good time doing that. It's my memoir.
Cool.
And some talks.
Right.
my memoir and some talks. It should be done before too long. Yeah.
That's terrific.
And we're having a good time doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I've been writing the Suzuki Roshi book, his talks,
Yeah.
and some memoir. And that's pretty much done, I think. And I have to write the intro.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I was, I wanted
So those are the two things I'm working on.
Yeah. Yeah. And are you working with Jiryu any? Is he working on that, on the lectures?
Well, Shunryu has been helping me, but he's a gringo.
Well,
and
that doesn't mean he can't help you.
No, that's true, but it's harder.
Uh-huh. Well,
You can't just go and visit each other.
Now, if I was a big shot at Gringos, I would tell Jiru that was his job, just to help you.
Yeah, that would be good. Yep, that would be good.
Yeah.
But I don't have it's not a problem. It's not. We've already got the book.
Yeah.
My job is to write the intro, and his job is to continue to refine it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
And so, yeah, we're doing. It's coming. It's coming. But I'm doing these two books.
You mean your personal memoir and the Suzuki Roshi lectures?
Well, that's what we are.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I'm really having a good time. Editing my own book.
Yeah, that's great.
We have a lot of fun doing that.
Well, I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, I did a Zoom meeting with Kanondo recently. Just
Oh yeah.
a few days ago.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, people are doing all these Zoom meetings, so they get hard up and they think, well, who else can we ask? And so people ask me now and then. But anyway, a woman wrote me an email afterwards that said that you had met with them and that you had mentioned that Suzuki Roshi wore a radiation belt.
Yeah.
And she asked if I knew about that, and I have a page for that on Cute.com. But remind me, I just want to hear if you have anything to add. Remind me about his.
Well, okay. Well, here's the story. The story is that, as I know it, Doug Greiner, can you remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a radiation guy.
Yeah, Lawrence Livermore Lab.
Yeah. A woman who was also a physicist.
Yeah, a Japanese woman.
Japanese woman, I'm trying to remember her name, it'll come. Fumio.
Uh-huh.
And when Suzuki Roshi left Japan, his doctor gave him a radiation belt and said, if you wear this, you'll be okay in America.
Yeah.
Little did he know. And so he took it, and, if some Japanese, doctor recommended it, he would certainly trust him. And so consequently, it could have caused his cancer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And
so he called in Doug and Fumio, and he asked And he said, what do you think about all this? And I said, we don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, well, they tested it.
Yeah, I guess they tested it.
They did. And Doug especially said, that he definitely shouldn't wear it. And not just that, he didn't know Doug and Fumio until he'd been, I don't know how long he'd known Fumio, but that was years after he arrived.
Yeah, it was. That's right. So we don't know when he started wearing it.
Yeah, or how much. But Doug said it definitely could have been the cause of his cancer. Now, I asked Oksan about this when she was at Green Gulch.
You did?
And this was years later. Anyway, she was at Green Gulch and meeting with students there, just, an evening talking with her. And Fumio was there with her. And I asked her about the radiation belt. And Fumio interrupted and said, "Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. No."
Oh, yeah.
And I went, well, let's hear from Mrs. Suzuki. And I ended up having an argument with Fumio there. And I said, "Listen, I know you're a radiation expert, but there is no such thing as a safe level of radiation. Dr. John Goffman showed there's one death for every 200 rads, and he destroyed the whole concept of low-level radiation being safe. And he was the world's foremost authority on low-level radiation at UC. And so Oksan was sort of, once she sees Fumio and me arguing in front of all the students, she was sort of, like
embarrassed.
Well, she didn't. Sort of vague in her answer, about how much he wore it. I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is.
The whole thing was embarrassing for them.
Yeah. God, well, the Japanese trip about mindlessly following authority.
Yes.
And, he's my doctor, I do what he says. He'd do that.
Yep.
So, do you have any other tidbits like that might have slipped through the cracks?
Probably. I can't think of any at the moment.
Yeah.
If I do, I'll let you know.
Yeah. My mind's sort of a blank. Things going pretty well here. Sounds like they're going pretty well there. I'm really glad to hear you're working on these books. That's really good. So when are they gonna be available?
Well, we don't have any timeline. When we're done, we'll be done.
Yeah, I'd say within the next few years.
Oh, I'd say earlier than that.
Good. There we go. Within a year.
Maybe the middle of next year.
Oh, good. Do you have any publishers? Jack Shoemaker.
Shoemaker. He asked me to write this book 25 years ago.
Yeah. What's the name? Shoemaker starts with a C. Counterpoint.
Counterpoint, yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Well.
Yeah, so I didn't just write it on my own, but because he asked me. And I've been working on it for 25 years off and on.
Oh, my goodness. I know you did an oral history thing with Basha, right?
That was short.
Uh-huh.
That was like when after I'd stepped down from being abbot at Zen Center.
Oh.
She got some people together to ask me questions about various things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had, it was Norman and Michael and Basia and Leslie and something like that. And they asked me questions. She organized it. She made a very nice little book. And that turned out well, I think. The only problem with it was that I had to talk about Dick.
Yeah.
I can't talk about Zen Center and myself without talking about Dick.
Yeah. So
that's also in my book.
So what's the problem with that?
I don't treat him well, but I don't treat him badly.
Give me a little synopsis.
No, I can't do that. It's too much, and it's all kind of mixed up.
Yeah.
No, I just say it as it is. That's all. You already know what it is.
Remind me.
So Mel did remind me, and we had a nice long talk about his relationship with Richard Baker. Bill Kwong came up. But the main thing was about the incorporation of Zen Center to a corporation Seoul, which happened, I don't know, maybe around in the late 60s, which gave the abbot one vote and the board one vote. It really changed it from being an organization run by the board with the abbot part of it. I don't really understand, so I might be misrepresenting that. But I think I'm right about Corporation Seoul. And then the change back away from Corporation Seoul in the, I don't know, late 80s. And certain hassles around that. And so I'm leaving all that out because we talked about there's more he wants to understand, and I said I'd talk to some people about it too to try to understand it better. One person who'd really understand the early one is Silas Hoadley, but he's a little too far gone for that now. But maybe Peter Schneider can help Ed Citizen. We'll see. But anyway, I got all that out, and then Mel and I said goodbye, and now you can hear Mel and me saying goodbye.
All right. Well, hey.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Mel.
Okay.
Have a nice sleep. Really great talking with you.
Okay, David. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
So thanks a lot for joining us, Mel Weitsman. I look forward to getting back to you. May you continue to feel good, and I wish you longer and longer life. This has been a Cuke Audio podcast. I'm DC Puba of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, which is sustained through the generous contributions of our sponsor, which is you, our dear listener. And if you wish to contribute to help us keep going, haven't done so yet and don't know how to do it, well, I'll tell you how. All you have to do is go to the main website for Cuke Archives, cuke.com, cuke.com. Hit the donate link. There's one near the top, there's one near the bottom. Go to the donate page. You can send a PayPal donation, send a check, or become a PayPal subscriber for as little as $1 a month. So until next time, we're coming to you from Sonur. That's Dogat Bandita Feline Cuchita and dear lovely Katrinka at my side. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.